Hello, John Walker here at the Festival of Circus, Fruit Fly Circus, 40 years here at Hobbletree Park in beautiful December. Listen to that crowd going on.
It's just absolutely bonkers in there.
They're all loaded up with Tom Flannigan's donuts.
Yeah,
That's what's going on there.
It's actually about 750 donuts, I believe, in a 400-seat auditorium. So everyone's had two at least.
Jingos, that's amazing. We worked out also that the donut was the meaning of life, because all the circles come together here this morning, and we put donuts one on top of the other and looked through it, and we kind of like got this tunnel vision.
And apparently, I've also heard that you can tell how the economy's going by the donut in the different countries. If the hole is bigger, the economy's terrible, and if the hole's more like a cat's bum, the economy's booming.
Right, and how does that go for flavours like cinnamon, chocolate, someone jam and cream?
Oh, we like to stay classic, John.
I noticed that.
None of that hipster stuff here.
I noticed that. Yours are very, very the traditional Australian donut.
Traditional.
Which I love.
Yeah, in French they say pet de nun. This is a fart of a nun.
And what? Yeah.
Where else do they?
It's what else they say?
I don't know where we're going with this one, but
what else they say in France?
Oh,
you're gonna
bonjour.
When you gig in France, do you still only do donuts, or do you do petit feu, croissant?
Yeah, pain au chocolat,
le jambon, le croque-monsieur. Look. When did you start? You reckon you started with the circus in 92?
Well, I did kicks in 92, so, twice a week. Got a bit more serious in about 95. Yeah. Left home at 96.
How old were you then?
No, I was about 9. Started probably.
Where did you go?
Dabbling in 6. What?
You started dabbling in 6.
So dabbling at 6. Dabbling in. I don't know what that 6 is.
And late 90s, you're here, and then I remember you in shows like Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yeah, that you were in that show as well.
Yes, that was an absolute belter.
That was a turning point for my life.
Hell of a lot of fun, and I remember you. What I can remember mostly about you was your sense of humour and the gift of, as soon as I saw you jump on stage in a rehearsal and do this crazy stupid dance and give your performance, and I just went, that guy has it. That guy has it. And I walked off and I went, that one over there, he's got it. Whatever it is, he's got it.
You got it, kid.
You were mad.
That was I was how old?
Mad.
I was like 12, 13, and with all you old mob just showing me the way, and first time all the olds had believed in me, because the other olds were like, "Oh, get this little crap out of here."
Oh, look, I can understand the behaviourally. You may have been a challenge, but I didn't have to put up with that, because I didn't have you in any classes. I didn't, I wasn't your guardian or anything like that.
2-hour call.
Yeah, exactly. Just walk on and I go, I want to work with him because he's mad. And that was great. That was a really good feeling. And
that was a good feeling, and such a good experience to be acting among all you pros. Doing Shakespeare. Who would have thought? I couldn't even spell my own name at the time.
Well, there you are, you see, and that's, and Kim Walker and Charlie Parkinson with that show really opened, Guy Hooper worked on that show as well, but really opened up the whole thing of Shakespeare. This is for the people. This is understandable. This is doable, and for us performers, to be able to do that, to be in a show that, spoke Shakespeare on the Causeway, spoke of Shakespeare on the Causeway, and used the Shakespearean language, I think was
and 30-odd, 40-odd kids to wrangle as fairies. jumping around.
I know, there was some remarkable. I used to beat up about 4 of the fairies every night behind the bushes down there next to the Murray River because they wouldn't sit still, and they all had ADHD and were beating each other up and headbutting each other. And I'd have to say, look, we're going on in about a minute. Can you just stop it with
Just pull your heads in. Oh my God. It's like fairy wings in the Murray floating down the river.
And but gee, it was a hell of a venue. I don't know that you could do. Could you still do that over there now?
I don't know. You should ask that Richard guy wherever he is. He might do it again. Bring us all back.
Right, wouldn't that be fabulous? I'd love to do that show again.
You'd be a great puck now. You'd be a wise old puck.
Well, Charlie Parkinson said when he rang me up to do that show, he said, John, we'd like you to doing this. We'd like you to play puck, and I'd go, Charlie, hold on a second. Puck's sort of usually fairly, good with the movement and young and sprightly and all that. And he said, no. He said, I'm changing the whole thing. I want someone who's old and burnt out.
But you were
yes, Charles.
You were old and sprightly.
So when you left the Fruit Flies now, you went on a sort of cavalier jaunt all around the world, really. Writing. I was so pleased when you started writing your own material, your own shows, and the belief you had in yourself. That's what I loved about.
Yeah, now I'm sick of it.
Yes, I know. And so's everyone else.
Yeah.
So.
No, well, Donuts is good.
What show? Now, the show Donuts. How did you come up with that?
I just saw a gap in the market, John.
Oh, no. Don't you mean a hole in the market? We'll be back after the break. Don't forget the late show tonight, 9:30.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay. Back live now, John, and I'm talking to Tom Flannigan.
Yeah, what were we talking
Donut
about?
King.
Oh, we were talking about just leaving,
you did these. You were writing your own shows.
Yeah, well, I was working with a company called Strut and Fret. We were making a lot of different ensemble shows, and it was great, like Tom Tom, and then I went to Circus Oz for a bit and tried that out for a short time, and then just like skipped around to every circus until they all got sick of me, and then I thought, all right, it's time to make my own show, and that's been great. It's been kaput. So I just did that for 8-9 years now.
Golly.
And now I have 2 children. It's getting to a point of, it's not all about me anymore.
Oh.
Damn it.
Tell. I see. That must be a terribly difficult and horrific reality for you to face.
Yeah, well, it's challenging for all of us, I think.
So what does that bring about, a change in life? What sort of a change in life does that bring about, I should say?
Well, when I work it out, I will tell you. But I think, it just becomes less about. It's hard when you're not touring together because you get split apart, and then the family's got to come back together, and then the dynamic changes, and blah blah blah, and you go, and then your mum's left to pick up the pieces all at home while I'm gallivanting around China, having a.
But your partner's a performer.
My partner's a musician, performer, a publicist, marketing, producer extraordinaire, and also just behind the camera there, shoving her buzzies into my daughter's face.
So obviously a lot of talents that you don't have, clearly.
Well, and I think she's on the computer just selling some shows to the Adelaide Fringe at the moment as we speak.
Oh, terrific. So
she's just on the Bluetooth iSpeaker.
Yeah, so the entrepreneurial business, the entertainment business still exists very much in your family. And I can't imagine you or your partner really, Coral, really, suddenly stopping that and saying, no, just because we've got kids, we can't do that anymore.
Well, that's right. No one else will take us. They just won't accept us in the normal part of society. That's why we lurk around the backs of circus big tops with our donuts.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
What were some of the big musical and performance and circus influences in your life? Looking back over there.
Probably, I mean, obviously all of you at Midsummer's really brought the performer out of me, because Fruit Flies was all about performing, but majority of it was about learning very high skills in circus, and there wasn't always an avenue for us mentally disabled clown crazy people, that wanted to perform but didn't have a clue on how to get there and would just have an anxiety attack instead.
Yeah. I've been there, yeah. Pretty much sums it up.
Yeah. So it was good to have an opportunity there with my peers, and also like clowns that I've met along the way, mainly my friends, mainly good friends of mine, like Captain Frodo, the Pitts family circus, my friend Gareth, like those close friends that I've created work with.
Yes.
And bounced off each other because we're in the same mind frame of stupidity.
Yes.
They've really helped me become someone that is useful to a community.
Yeah. I agree with that completely.
And I could have also easily been just over on the river one TMCing.
Indeed.
And could have just, I don't know, been down South Albury still under the train bridge.
Oh yes.
But here I am back in Albury to show off my pink donut van after travelling the world making people laugh for a living.
Yeah, how good's that? Now,
how good's that?
Our next interview up will be Richard Hull, who's given you the opportunity, against most people's advice, for you to come back.
Yeah, exactly.
And with your donut van and
your family. No one would have had me back if it wasn't for Richard and Tani.
The number of people who sent envoys to him going, no.
Richard told Tani not to show me, but Tani showed me the list of letters saying, do not bring Tom Flannigan and his donut van to Albury.
Yep.
And I said, look, haters gonna hate, but
yeah. And
I'm here to love.
There have been so many highlights over the last 40 years, and Flannigan's not one of them.
But there's been a lot of Flannigan.
That's very
shoved
generous.
Down their throats.
Richard Hull gave you a late graduation
I just
certificate.
mentioned that before. Was this camera on before?
I don't know.
That's true, John, because you asked when I started, but I never...
Thank you, Coral.
I never actually graduated because I might have left town in a bit of a huff.
Yes, you spat the dummy and walked.
And then, I spat the dummy 2 fingers in the air and kind of come back 10 years later very, semi-successful, and then they want me back now.
Yes, semi-successful, but not all that more mature.
And still a stain on this earth.
Thank you. Love you. Good night.
Love you
God
too,
bless.
John. Great to see you.